Oh my God, Fluffy, eat him. You're eating him. You're eating him. We're eating him, but you're eating him more. Oh my God. I'm red as fuck. I'm just trying to die.
He just came out
Yeah,
his
I'm
thing
transferring.
and didn't know what happened. That
Oh, here we
was.
go. I'm gonna die right here. I got 5 tanks coming for me.
They're not even
Yeah.
coming in. Like WB is really low. Fluffy, if you have a cav,
Hi everyone, Fluffy Waffles here. Wanted to bring you guys an updated Cavalry guide for the season that we're playing right now and for the future seasons. It's been a while since I've done a Cavalry guide, so I just want to do a quick update for you guys. For those of you that don't know me, I am a Cavalry main. I have the 50 million cavalry merits. I also am the first player to get 500 million merits with this achievement, King of the World. So yeah, just a quick, for those of you that don't know who I am a cavalry main with. I mean, I've maxed out the cavalry, the magic as well. I'm a balanced account because that's how you get a lot of merits. You got to play all the troop types. The only thing I don't play currently right now is archers, but I do have some archer knowledge. But most of you guys who do know me as like a cavalry main person. So we'll start off with the marches that I am using currently. So if I do 5 cavalry, this is the setup I've been using that I liked a lot. So the Nea, who is this? I forget this guy's name. Leishan, Urag, and Fulgrim. So I've been using this over Urag Tobin because the Fulgrim actually does a lot of damage when it's awakened. So obviously it's not a budget build if you're a cavalry enthusiast and you don't play archers and you just max out on archer hero. But this works out really well for me. If you don't have Fulgrim maxed out, obviously use the Tobin. Urag Tobin is still very strong. I just find Fulgrim a little bit better than Tobin for damage. And then I do Emery's Bakshi, Forendil Mu. So Forendil Mu is very strong, and then Marduk and Tobin. This is my more support. Marduk helps debuff, and Tobin helps stay alive longer. He still does a little bit of damage as well. You can see as my support March, he has the blink. As far as artifacts, I put the Lunaris on not the Nea Leishan, just because the Lunaris gives a speed buff to Nea when she is in camouflage. So the reason I put it on my Forendil is just because it makes it easier to sync my move speeds with all 5 cavalry, and so they can move together a little bit easier. So that's why I do that. So she has the Kingslayer. I mean, it still works out very well. She's a very strong march, especially if you have the a really good Auric Warhound. So this is still a great march, even though it's got a Kingslayer on it. As far as the artifact variants for the assault, I put this one on the Nea, just the extra damage, the 4,000 damage factor. You're going to want a hammer for your control. So if you don't, and then the Wolfhound's also a control. If you don't have a Wolfhound horn, I would unlock this actually first because this is actually a lot better. So if you don't have it, unlock it as you're wearing it and use it. But if you have it unlocked, just unuse the hammer on the deputy. The reason for that is because the deputy artifact variant that doesn't take into account these stats right here, like the exemplar effects in the infantry and the legion stuff. So you just want the stun factor, the stun the stun effect. Um, and the reason for this is because when you're fighting, you get this has a 400 rage cost. You can see all the cav artifacts have 600 rage cost. So you always get this one off first. So you want to stun your enemies, especially when you're fighting cavalry. Stun your enemies first, and then you can dump all your artifacts off on them, and then have higher chances of winning. So obviously, Spring Blades is very OP for Emrace because of this additional effect, attack plus 30% when he gets Passion. It's very strong, and then you get a nice gold rock right here. This Blade Manticore I haven't really invested into. It's just very basic, below average. This is my Shadow Phagic, pretty strong as well. And then this is my Auric Warhound. This is a secondary pet I have. I actually have this ready to 3-star. You can see how I just haven't done it yet because we haven't had a lot of. I mean, we've had fighting in the zone too, but it's not like very intense fighting where I need to like 3-star this right away. So I'm just kind of waiting and see what I do. Maybe I can roll another good pet and use this. So I don't know. I'm not in a rush to 3-star this yet, even though it's ready. So those are like the pets I recommend. Definitely a Warhound, Auric Warhound for the Nea. Shan, and then the second one as a secondary is very strong as well. And then the gold rock for sure for Emery's Bakshi, and then if you're using a Forandel, definitely the Brizik Friedrich excels very well with Forandel. So another thing I want to point out, a lot of you guys like to use Mu and the mages, or you don't have Mu, you can use, Mu is an overall hero. She can be used as mages, archers, infantry, and cavalry. So if you don't want to use your Mu in your cavalry, another great option is to use Marduk, not Marduk, Magro. So Forandel Magro actually is a very strong cavalry march as well. It's up there with Forandel Mu. If you can't use Magro, either you don't have it awakened, or you're using Magro as an infantry, then your other best bet really is just to go with a Theo. And as you can see, my Theo wasn't in my lineup just because I had better options. But Forandel Theo is also still very strong. Forandel Theo is still also very strong. I just I have other pairings that I like that are stronger than Theo. If you do use this setup, just keep in mind that the talent builds that I'm about to show you guys don't account for Forandel's. He has an extra 10% movement speed. Where is it? Right here, so 10% movement speed. So if you're going to use this if you copy my talent build, just take 10% speed out of the Forandel talents, and then it'll be easier for you to sync. So we go to so this is the first build, 5 cavalry. That's the setup with the options of replacing Mu. If you're gonna use 4 cavalry and 1 infantry, like a fast infantry support, I would recommend doing Skogul Nika, because that's and a spring feather. That's the way you can be fast enough to keep up with your cavalry. This is also a great support march as well, because it helps you tank for your calves, and it helps you slow enemy cavalry when they're trying to run away. You can block when you're getting chased. You can block and help your calves get escape. There's a lot of utility you can do, a lot of micro you can do with using a Skull and Nika. So it's also very strong. It's good. It's a good option to do with the 4 cav and one fast infantry, especially if you're limited on your cavalry units. This is another great option. And then since the season has the double artifacts, the artifact variants, I wanted to show you guys what I plan to do for all the variants once they are all unlocked. So as you can see here, when all 5 are unlocked, I'm already using the hammer. I'm already using this one for assault, and and I have this one as well. This is like the remove debuff. So this one's not bad. If you get stunned, you can remove the debuffs. So in the 5th tree is the mobility for the artifact variants. The 5th one is the mobility one. So you can use things like Spring Blade Feather. You can use the Storm Arrows. There's other things, but for cavalry, I would recommend using something like this, where you can put your I mean, I guess you could put the Storm Arrows first, and then I think you can Storm Arrows first as a variant, and then you can put like a different artifact, like the overall one for more damage on the deputy. And then for the 4th artifact variant is the tank one. So this is the cavalry tank ones, the Abyssal Mirror. I'll show you what it does. So for this one, you get if you put it as your primary, you get cavalry to defense. But for this one, when you cast a rage skill in the field, the wielder takes 20% less damage and gains exemption from most control effects. So this one's pretty cool to help reduce damage when you're charging. You charge in with the Annealing Rush, you get your rage skills off immediately, so you get this procced up pretty quickly. It helps you with survivability, so this is really a nice one to have. It's passive, so it's pretty cool. That's the best option in the tank variants. So that's what I would do for the 5 cavalry artifact variants. For the 4 cavalry and fast inf, I would use the Spring Blade Feather on the Skolga Nika, and then put the blink on the deputy. That way you still have the blink and you can move fast. And then obviously you have the hammer, you have the artifact that can cleanse, you have the Abyssal Mirror for survivability, and you have the Spirit Necklace. And obviously these variants, you can put them in different places however you want. It just gives you the effect. So if you want your 4-0 Mu to have more higher merit reports, you can put the Spirit Necklace over there, because Spirit Necklace will do more damage than the hammer, I believe. So yeah, it's really up to you. Or if you wanted one of your marches to survive longer, have more survivability, like I guess I could put this Abyssal Mirror on my Nea Lei Shin just because I have a good pet. So you have a good pet on a march and you want him to survive longer, you can do that too. That's also a very good play to make him survive longer and get more that crazy pet damage off. So that is my setup, and then I'll show you guys the talents. So the speed that I run at is 51% or 52%. Some of the legions you can't get to 51, so you have to go to 52. So for example, my Forandil and my Marduk are both at 52%. The other 3 of my cavalry are all at 51%. So so I use the control tree and half of the cavalry tree. So the reason I use this is because the Shadow Phaedrake pet, not Shadow Phaedrake, I'm sorry, Berserk Phaedrake pet, the damage scales off of debuffs. So with this tree, you get a debuff right here, you get a slow, you get a debuff right here when you enter battle, you slow, so that's another debuff. You get a debuff here, your defense break, right? When you normal attack, you have a chance to do a debuff. There's another debuff right here. When casting rage skills, your legion has a 25% chance to inflict gloom. So there's another debuff right there. And then lastly, the silence right here is also a debuff. So you're increasing your chances of debuffing your enemy to increase your Berserk Phaedrake damage. So that's why this tree is being used for a Forandel Mu instead of the PvP tree, and then obviously I'll show you guys some merit reports from this season after the skill builds. So that's my Forandel Mu. I'll show the Marduk since it's also 52%. Where's my Marduk at? Talent. So this is the Marduk. It's a mobility tree. Mobility tree, I like it a lot. It's got a lot of damage in it, especially because of this Victory Rush. When you're charging, ranged units and whatnot, you're going to take them down pretty quickly below 50%, so you get the extra damage. So it's pretty strong. You'll see a lot of mobility tree within my talent builds. So that's my Marduk. For Emery's, also going to be on mobility. So just keep in mind, sometimes we auto-click things and we just click up here. So I didn't take these to help sync my marches. So this one right here, I didn't take it, but I took one up here. Get that 1% to get to 51. So so this is the Emery's tree. My Nea tree is pretty much a copy paste of this one because it has a mobility as well. So here's the Nea. It's a copy paste of the Emery, so it makes it easy to sync marches. And then the last one is my Urag. So keep in mind with Urag, my Urag Fulgrim, it does help sync as well because Fulgrim has an extra 10% speed boost that Tobin doesn't have, so it makes it a little bit easier. So that's another reason why I use it. Not it's the high damage, but also the march speed helps sync. So just keep that in mind when you're trying to copy my talent builds. If you're not using Fulgrim, you have to find another 10% movement speed somewhere. So you can see this is my Urag tree. I go halfway up all 3 trees, skills, PvP, and cavalry. If you're going to not use Fulgrim, then you have to go up the full PvP tree to get the other 10% movement speed up this tree. And you have to go. So if I was not using Fulgrim, I would take the 10% here. That way you can sync the speed. I would take the 1.5% damage here. And then I'd probably take this one right here, Stubborn Fighter, and then the last one I would do Breach of Blade. So that's how I would do it without a Fulgrim. But because I have a Fulgrim, I don't need to go up that tree, and I can actually get some more damage, right? I can get more damage going up half up the skill tree, right? So that's the benefit of using Fulgrim there. If you have Fulgrim and you're not using him to max potential with like burning his stamina out, so that's a great option to use for Fulgrim, Urag and Fulgrim. I believe that's all the marches. Let me show the Skogul, the fast Skogul build. Skogul Nika, where's Skogul at? Here's my Skogul build. It's really just taking all the movement speed that you can in the tree just to be as fast as possible, right? So you get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 in the tree. 50, 55 because this is an inventory 55 movement speed in the tree already, plus the Spring Blade to help keep up with the cavalry. So yeah, that's the cavalry build and all my talents. And I did show the pets earlier and why I use them, and what else can I tell you guys about? Okay, I guess investment of cavalry heroes. So I wouldn't heavily invest in like Emery's and Bakshi just because they're in the gold tokens now. So you should be able to get them passively, just by spamming gold keys. Where would you summon? So you can see the gold chest, right? You can get you can even get mood too. But yeah, I don't know why it's showing me. But yeah, Emery's and oh yeah, go here. I guess you can select it. So if I was a new cavalry player or trying to be cavalry, I would go like this. Where is Bakshi? Emery's. The move's already there. I guess you could put Theo in there. Where's Fornell? Fornell, it's already there. Who else would I put in this selection? I mean, that's a good start. So you have Fornell, Bakshi, Emery, Theo, and Moo in the gold queue that you can try to get leveled up. But if you're, doing wheels and stuff, Nea is very strong. I would definitely recommend getting Nea if you can get Lei Shin. Lei Shin is pretty nice because you can go actually 5-5-1 because his Garrison skill is all the way at the end. So you actually do 5-5-1 and get a lot of value out of Lei Shin without having to max him out fully. So that's very good investment there. Urag is a very good investment hero. I would recommend investing in him. Tobin is strong as well. The only challenge is that his rally skill is on the second skill. So if you can get a good configuration without maxing him out, like a 5-1-5-1 or 5-1-5-5, it's very strong as well. Obviously, Moo is good, but if you can't use Moo, use Theo or Magro. But yeah, Solation and Nea are very strong. Urag is very strong. I mean, Bakshi and Emery's are both very strong. I wouldn't like spend universal tokens on them. I would use the universals and like use the other ones. Yeah, so that's my cavalry guide. I hope that is very helpful for you guys. I will also edit in some merit reports for this season. I believe my merit reports were in the 50 to 70k merit reports with us using the portal system, fighting and helping our B teams, so just running around, not really hunting that much, more or less just full sending for the most part, because it's kind of hard to hunt when you just portal in. You have to like kind of run all over, and they see you, and then you get blocked anyway. So not a lot of hunting, but pretty good merits for fighting other cavalry. It's a lot of cavalry battles, and then fighting other cavalry, and then just suiciding and pushing. So 50 to 70k merits is actually not bad for the kind of playstyle that we've had this season so far. So I will link those in, and I hope you guys found this guide helpful. Thank you for watching. Hey, I forgot they had a investment in artifacts. So investment, I would definitely say this Wolf Howl Horn is very strong. I would go for number 1 for this one because it does a lot of damage and it's stunned as well. 2 Emery's, the Spring Blades for Emery's is very strong as well. I would go for number 2 for this. I mean, very close to number 1 just because the effect is very, very strong, and this effect works also for Garrison and Rally. So if you're using either an Emery's in your Rally or Garrison, or even a Nea, because Nea gives passion as well, this Spring Blades effect is very strong. Where's she gives passion? I know she gives passion. Is it Nea or is it Lei Shin? He has the passion. Am I crazy? Oh yeah, the passion is on Lei Shin. So if you're using Lei Shin, You get the passion as well, but the Galatian's a garrison hero, right? So you're gonna want to use him as a garrison if you're gonna garrison with calves anyway, and use the spring blades. And then if you're gonna rally, you would do a Tobin, Emery's rally. So this is what I would do, for example, for a rally. I guess I don't have it saved, but I would do. Where's my Tobin at? Tobin. Why can't I find anything? Seriously, it's probably staring me in the face and I can't see it. Okay, it wasn't staring me in the face. Tobin. Here's the one option for a rally. Tobin, Emery's, and then use the gold rock. Not that one. Use this one. So this is a good rally option. I'll show the rally tree in a second. Actually, can I show it here now? So this is one option. Tobin, Emery's with the spring blades, gold rock. Another good option is if you have an Orc Warhound, you could do Tobin Nea Orc Warhound. Right, and then you can use the Linares. Linares is also a very strong artifact. I would recommend it as well. Yeah, this is an option. Another option is, I mean, I guess you could do, if you really wanted Tobin, Elation to get the passion, but I think Emery's is better. You can do this as well with a spring blade and a gold rock. You can do that. But obviously the Emery's, I think the Emery's would be better for this combination. So those are your combinations. If I was going to do a garrison, I would do a garrison like this. I would do Li Xin, Nea, Spring Blades, and Orc. Even though Gold Rock works with Passion, the Orc, if you have an Orc, the Orc is stronger. So this would be my garrison. I'll show the talents as well. Another budget garrison if you don't have Li Xin maxed. I mean, not Li Xin, but Emery's. I mean, Nea. If you don't have Nea maxed, you can use Emery's as well, and a gold rock. That's a good option for a garrison. If you're if you're mostly cavalry in your city, like for example, I have some hospitals right now, but I have 6 million right now, and I have like 2 million in the hospital of cavalry. I can show the talent build right now. So right now it's on a skill build, but if I was gonna take a rally, I would do this build of the garrison tree to take fair defense, formidable. You would take the extra skill damage here, less skill damage taken while serving as a garrison. You get more rage. This is a little bit more rage. The reason I didn't max out the rage is because you get a lot of rage on the Li Xin March anyway. So then I took taking less damage. And then dealing more. This one's dealing more damage, and this one's taking less damage. So this would be my garrison setup for that. For rally, Tobin. Let me see here. Where's Tobin? Tobin. Oh, there, he just passed it. Tobin. For rally, is he on rally tree or not? Yeah, he's on a rally tree. So I would do this for rally tree. Get this landslide. Get the damage. Get a little bit. Ignore defense. Some rage right here, accumulation, more faster rage. Hero skill damage. This one right here is a debuff. The reason I did this is because sometimes I was testing, or sometimes because I also have I'll show you. I have a really good Berserk Phage Drake. So if I was using the Phage Drake pet, then I would need an extra debuff. So this gives you 2 debuffs in your rally for the Berserk Phage Drake. So this would be the rally tree I would use. But yeah, I mean, if you wanted to use a Tobin Forandel, you could as well if you have a Tobin. So where's my Tobin? So this is another option if you have a good Berserk Phage Drake like I do. So if you have, obviously Oath Swarm Peak is good for Forandel if you're gonna rally or garrison with him because this effect is pretty good. But I obviously did not invest in my Oath Storm Peak, so that's why it's a level 1 and I'm not using it. It is an option, a good option to use in your cavalry build if you do have it built. So I forgot to mention that, but if you have it built in Exemplar or whatnot and you're using it, it's a good option to use as well for this season with the artifact variant. So this is how the setup would be if I had a really good Oath Storm Peak. and then use Forendell on the Berserk Phaedrake. Trying to think here. I think you can get the full debuffs without Forendell if you can use Fulgrim as well. Fulgrim gives debuffs as well. You could do like this. So these are some options for rally. Obviously, I would recommend the most doing Tobin, either Tobin Emery's, Spring Blades, Gold Rock. It's one of a very strong option, and then obviously the Nea and Orc is a little bit stronger just because the Orc Warhound is a bit stronger. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with Emery's just because the Spring Blades effect is so strong. 30% attack when you get passion. That's so freaking strong. But yeah, wanted to add the artifacts stuff in there. Forgot to do that. So thank you guys.